Good evening. Sort of late. It's a little after 10. I didn't go anywhere today, except for around my property and everything. I noticed the cop next door or whatever, they don't like anybody, you know, to know exactly what they are. Because they're paranoid that, somebody might do something to them. Why? But I don't know. Anyway, I guess he was talking to Rick across the street. He's a nice guy. He's been living there forever, and him and his old lady are very nice, and their family's been living here. So I guess he's trying to badmouth him. But I hadn't seen Rick because he had broke his leg, and he's like, he's been in the house trying to recuperate. He's just now starting to get around, because he's getting ready to, because it's healed, not all the way, but it's better. And so like I said, I ignored the guy across the street, and I said hi to Rick, and that I'm glad that he's out, and around. But anyway, I guess he's trying to, get Rick involved. Rick minds. That's one of the nice things about him. He minds his business. I ain't never had a problem with Rick. I never had Rick call me out my name. He ain't never went out of his way to cause me pain or discomfort. Never stole from me. You know what I'm saying? He's you know what I'm saying? He works on his house and goes to work. Minds his business pretty much. Now, Rick knows all the people. Larry Jones like, I love Rick. Larry Jones loved anybody that he could fucking get over. Anybody he could coerce out of some money. And shit. One time, he got a habit of calling him, when he get drunk, people call him Mama. He called me Mama one time. I said, fuck you. I wouldn't birth and raise no motherfucker to live such a miserable life as you are. It's just no fucking way. It's not fair. It's not right. But, I mean, like, they're really trifling around here. We got a high murder rate. It's like every morning you wake up, there's 2 people got shot. So there is a lot of really police work that could be done. Like I remember the time I don't go there anymore because it makes you feel uncomfortable when like they gotta pretty much they want to make sure that that they're fucking with you. They go out of the way like that one that stole my underwear and they look like regular the those stretch pants women wear. But but they were really like long johns, and they were new in the package of their underwear. But they weren't like long johns. They were made out of the nylons, just an extra layer underneath. But they're underwear, and I got that stolen. Motherfucker had me know that they were wearing it, and I remember looking at it. I'm like, that bitch is gonna be broke out from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, I'm only anyway. I wear a size small. There's no way in hell this motherfucker wears small. Small sometimes in certain places is not small enough, and some smalls are too small. But anyway, it was like a stretch. It was nylon, so it was stretchy material. A lot of women wear something close to it, like all out in the street and everything. So they, but they were supposed to be underwear. I just like when it gets real cold, to have an extra layer on underneath. And then sometimes I'll layer up to like that way. That's like I can still put like 2 more layers on top if I want to, But anyway, so like that sort of pissed me off because they were brand new. For somebody like, oh, she's poor, she's a bum, and then you steal from them. And the whole time you all paranoid waiting for them to go steal your shit. Not. But there are plenty of people that are like that, and I believe you're probably around them more. So I'm sure that's why you expect that behavior, because that's probably the game. That's. But anyway, and anyway, when I came, I had to go pick up my high blood pressure pills, but I had walked an hour and 20 minutes up there, and it was 30-degree weather, and it was about this time last year, except for like today it was 60. Today yesterday and today was very warm for January, and it's snows, blizzards up north. And well, anyway, so like when I had got there and it was 30 degrees in the wind, I just happened to be walking into the wind. My eyes and my nose was running, and when I got into like the room, where the examining room, they closed the door, they had the heat blowing from the central air, and I guess it made it a little dusty for me, and I did a loud sneeze, and like just when the lady was coming in, I sneezed real loud, and wiped my face, and I like to wash my hands and stuff, which I don't see anybody here ever doing, is like going in like when they go in their house or they go indoors washing their hands or anything, you know what I mean? I don't see that, but anyway, I washed my hands and my face, and for some reason I had put the Kleenex like in my pocket, and then I took that Kleenex and I was gonna throw it away. I guess I just blew my nose, put it in, and then like washed, and then, like, cause I was thinking to myself, but it was clear, So anyway, she ended up taking it out of the room with her, and she was like, "You want sinus medicine?" Because the main doctor happened to be on vacation, which I didn't know at the time. It was a little LPN. "You want sinus medicine?" I'm like, "No, I just need my high blood pressure, refill." So I pretty much like double timed over to Walgreens, and they're following me, and the one lady, she's like right behind me, and not right behind me, they sort of like I call it a hoe walk, that walk on the track, they're all saying because I walk fast, like New Yorkers do, that you must be on crack. But I passed the crackhead. They look like they walking fast because they're laboring, but anyway, I can pass them twice on the block. But also I get my exercise in. But this time I'm double timing and sort of running a little bit, like when I'm going to cross the street, because it's cold, so build up a little heat. So when I get in there, I sit down. The line was so long that it was to a chair, so I sat down, right, like the next person. This lady comes in after, looks like she's going to have a cardiac arrest. Her color is not right, and she's real dark, so she shouldn't have that pale ashy color that comes over them, like you could see the blood rush out. So I'm like, "Sit down before you have a cardiac arrest." So she sat down. I'm like, "Lean your head forward a little bit, feel a little dizzy, lean your head forward, So she leaned her head forward, and then finally she got it up right, and I'm like, "Feel better?" And she's like, "Uh-huh." Anyway, the two other guys, they got police shit on their stuff, on the back of their stuff, black stuff says police. And anyway, they come in, they're like, and there's a long ass line, there's a lot of people there. The stupid lady comes from behind the counter, Walgreens, the pharmacist, and goes to where they at, because they're making all this noise. "Hey, they know her. Hey, yeah." So she leaves everybody there waiting on getting their fucking shit. They didn't even, I finally went over to I didn't even get my fucking high blood pressure pills. Lucky I still had some left. I finally got mine from the other Walgreens over there. I think I got one part of my high blood pressure pills. I take two. I got one of them that day. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But they're going, "Oh, we need sinus medicine. Oh, we need sinus medicine." And because they were loud, so I looked around, and they're like, And the lady's looking at me. They call her up, Miss. I think it was Miss King, at the same time that I'm up there, so she could hear, like see that I, whatever I got. I'm like, wow. And that is so. I've changed 5 doctors now, and Walgreens have been like a little bit convenient for me, just because there's so fucking many of them, and I'm already in the system. But I'm thinking about just going to any other one, besides them, because now at Walgreens acting like they keep losing my insurance. So you know what I mean. So like I looked at the lady, I go, she goes, I wonder why this keeps happening. I go, I guess they want you to do extra work, because I don't have. She's in there typing and doing all this stuff, and then like she asked me my information, and so I'm giving her my Social Security and everything, so like she could put that shit in there. And she goes, well, that's an old card. The card just came in the fucking mail the other day when I put it in my wallet, and I'm like, okay, but just use this one. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they would think that, I don't know what the fuck I got in my, in my wallet, or I don't know what my shit's for, and I'm like, no, put this in there. And I go get my Social Security number, and she's looking at me, and she's like, could you say that again? And I just said it to her again, and I said, real slow. Now, obviously, she ain't never had to remember her Social Security number to get a paycheck. Different times. No, a little 20-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Got a little bit of information, about what the little training that you had in your area. Don't mean you know anything about anything else. I know this guy is like certified genius and everything, belonged to that genius club, whatever it was. He couldn't cook. Now, his job, he's a fucking genius, and he couldn't cook. I remember one day, we were somewhere, and pretty much everybody ended up just, like, hanging out really, like, late, talking and going over stuff. So, I guess, I know me and this girl, Crystal, he woke us up talking about, I made breakfast, and we're like, what the fuck? And it was just it's like, I don't know what he did. He like took our French rolls and like just put egg shit on it and sausage shit on it. I'm looking at it and I'm like, fuck. I never knew nobody could fuck up eggs and sausage. But but basically at that time I was thinking, well, he's just doing that so he could eat that shit himself. But he just did, you know what I'm saying, cooking wasn't his thing. But like a lot of people think, oh, he's a genius, he supposed to know everything about everything. No, he just knows very well about the stuff he studied, very, very well. And but the shit he didn't give a fuck about and didn't study on, he didn't give a fuck. And plus he never was like the richest. People are like, oh, he's a genius, he's gonna be rich. He never was the richest man. He wasn't the poorest motherfucker, but he wasn't the richest motherfucker. I don't know anybody, but you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying. So being smart or being a genius or being dumb or being stupid doesn't reflect on your money that a lot of people make. Otherwise, Rick Perry wouldn't be in the position he is. Anyway, but I don't know. They've been doing this. They've been like, actually, my computer acted well, and I got phone calls today in the daytime, which is really strange. I didn't think about that. So maybe, like my biggest problem is if you're gonna be like fucking with somebody's shit and causing it not to work. A person wouldn't give a fuck if you paid for the shit. You know what I'm saying? I can see how they would fucking act if something happened with their service. You know what I'm saying? They probably would go shoot a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, that shit wouldn't be funny. Because I noticed that. But anyway, we have a... But anyway, I guess he's going to try to fix that house next door and get somebody else in it. I just hope he doesn't put another fucking crackhead in there. Seems like that's the only motherfuckers that they really get along with, And You know what I'm saying? That house has been empty most of the motherfucking time. Another thing is, I'm sure that he got the same attitude that he has with anybody. Be nasty with me and call me out my name when I just said hi. I ain't never had nobody disrespect me as much as I had to have the police disrespect me. Nobody ever does. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I have never thought that I could hate. You know what I'm saying? Because I usually don't give a fuck. And I think that's what bothers them the most. Is that, you know what I'm saying, I really didn't give a fuck. And they're like, oh, you know, you're aggressive. I'm like, whatever, bitch. But pretty much I was a passive aggressive, because a lot of this shit I just don't give a fuck. But when it gets too fucking ridiculous, you know, when it gets to where, you caused, in my mind, the death of this man over here, because when I try to call to tell you that his nephew is trespassing, y'all just go, they talk to him and tell him, she got to sue you to get him out. Well, his uncle had to sleep. Well, his uncle, nobody was paying rent, so I didn't really give a fuck past that. I just thought that the uncle would like to go back in his house that he had lived in 50 years, with, where all his stuff is. Well, his nephew took all that shit out, and the crackhead, Ray's got to make money. I heard from the prostitute that he always sees, that she don't want to go in the house anymore because he done put holes on the walls and the floor. Which is perfectly alright, because I was gonna tear that shit down anyway. And one time that guy Vernon was a good guy, but he was renting from Linda Watts, and he was paying her rent, and Linda was supposed to be every time she came over here, I used to think I smelled like the odor of crystal meth on her. Like pneumonia, like type of smell. Like maybe she was cooking it or something. Because like I don't know if you can smell if somebody's been smoking it. I don't know. Shit melts, right? Anyway, but with heat, with warm. So anyway, but come back into no. Is that a secret? Anyway, turns out that she hadn't been paying her taxes, and so he had been paying rent for nothing. So he ended up staying there until the city got down. So since Linda fucked him over, now he's like the same mind as the policeman, which he had been in prison, and I think they once they come out institutionalized, they pick up a lot of habits like that they emulate from being around the police. So he gonna be dogging out on me, and all this shit. And that guy's pretty fucking dangerous too, because he tried to lift me up and take me into that house one time when I was walking by. I had to just keep beating on him and just fighting him. And finally, finally it got to where I heard him and he dropped me and he ran across the street somehow, and he was like holding himself all freaked out, you know what I'm saying? And that Brock's house, for some reason, there's a bunch of empty houses there, but that's where the school bus was stopping. I'm like, oh my god. But he's the type of guy everybody trusts this, because they remember when he was a good guy, and that was like in the 70s. But, you know what I'm saying, because people fucked him over, he learned how to fuck over. He learned something. You know what I'm saying? Instead of learning not to be around fucked up people, and you don't have to do fucked up stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, but basically, I really, had a problem where, like, I really don't give a fuck about a lot of motherfucking things. Don't care for a lot of people, and you know what I'm saying, hate them, love them, none of that, I just indifference, you know what I'm saying. But like, since I've been in the South, I understand why people hate, because I ain't never hate nothing until now, You know, I always thought that was a sign of weakness. You know, but it's not. It's a sign that in a way, you know, that people that are cruel and that are heartless and bullies, you know, they, you know what I'm saying, they just keep working at it until you just like, this person is fucking disgusting. You know. But now I know why that, I think it was Holly Bobo that was up here that they never did, well, I guess they finally found her, but now I understand why it was so hard and took them so long. You know what I'm saying? Because their idea of policing, you know, is more of a show. You know, like well, we're all on four wheelers driving around when everybody uses cars. You know, because like I'm crazy as fuck because I don't have a car, and they're all but anyway, the city looks like shit. You know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if it wasn't for Elvis Presley's mansion being here, I don't, you know, because Beale Street ain't nothing like it used to be. They ruined that. I saw the same thing in New Orleans and in a few other places where they actually ran off, like, you know, most of the black people, you know, for, you know, just harassing whatever, and you know, like, so, like, I guess for white people, right? But it was, to me, it wasn't the same, and everybody didn't hang out. And if you wanted to have fun, though, it was in New Orleans. It wasn't on Beale Street, whatever, for me. You know, even though I had hanged on there quite a bit, a lot, but you know, it was just too much. It was just too much XXX. That's all that is. You know, and you can see all type of sex shows and everything else, and that type of atmosphere, like, you know, like a loner like me, you know, cause like, but like, you used to be able to go in and go places and even go in bars and not necessarily be labeled as a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? You know, even though they do have plenty of prostitutes that come in bars, but you could go in there. You know, like, I like to play pool. I always like to play by myself because I'm ambidextrous, so I can play with my left and my right. But I'm a righty mostly. Nowadays I'm even more of a right, since you know, I didn't really get the medical care that I needed to get for the injury I have. You know, because they were like, oh, I know what's wrong with you, got a mind. They're like, they're going to tell, like, and plus, and I lost so much respect since I've been here for the police department, and I don't really appreciate that. I've lost a lot of respect for men. I don't appreciate that, because I've never, because, like, I mean, all this policemen do is talk about is sex. You know, when they hack your Facebook, they're the ones that put the dick pics and, oh, you could buy a vibrating vagina and stuff like this. I don't have any X-rated stuff. I don't believe in encouraging a behavior that I think is self-destructive. That there's too many women in the world, either in the Middle East, the United States, or Europe, that that fell in victim to kidnap and slavery, and there's too many kids that have been abused and filmed and all this stuff, and the police are the type that they see these things and that shit is fucking funny to them. You know, I don't see anything funny about seeing a little boy get raped or a little girl get raped or a grown person, you know what I'm saying? And I don't find that I don't know, I'm not, to me, watching, it's not anything you really want to watch. And I can't imagine, you know, after 1.5 seconds, you know, what the fuck are you looking at? I mean, well, maybe up to 2 minutes. But I think the only time I ever really seen X-rated movies or looked at them was when, you know, like, well, my third husband, he had got one, and that was like the only one, you know, and I don't know. I guess if you want to learn how to be a bad fuck, a rapist, or you know what I'm saying, uh, basically, if you just, because it seems like that one day about on the internet, and they start watching the internet, all of them are having oral sex or whatever, and I'm sure that's nice to have done to you, but it's not really the best thing to look at, And I don't know. I just think that it's more destructive, and there's a lot of places I know people that came from places where it was legal, down in South America someplace. I don't know, it was Colombia, Peru, somewhere, I don't remember exactly, but they were saying that the police were on the prostitution there, so that anyway. So that's just something I don't. Just because of all the here, all the guys think they're pimps. They're all oh, I'm big pimping, I'm big pimping, I'm big pimping. And the thing about, what I'm saying, really, Sonny, he's been everything. He said he'd be a pimp. I know, the girls he had. I mean, it's Sonny, but you know what I mean. Well, that man been everything. I think his mistake was when he came back to take over his family land. And I think he came back from Wisconsin. I think you could leave here for a while, and then when you come back, you realize how oppressed and how stigmatized it can be in a very racist area, and Memphis is very racist, and it affects the community in such a way that I think it's hindering it from being as financially stable as it should be. Because it allows them to get away with certain stuff. I remember when I took a course, because I really was into anthropology, but it happened to be there's one course I took about justice, no sense, all police in there, right? And I remember one thing that these policemen got all excited about, and I didn't really care they were police, but I was going through issues at the time where I divorced, and it was just all fucking crazy, and then I guess they thought I wanted to be a policeman, but nobody fucking asked me what I was there for. And if they would have asked me, I would have told them, because I was in anthropology. Anyway, but I like to, when they sort of go over a certain subject, they don't really touch bases with it. Sometimes that brings up my curiosity to where I'm I want to know more. And anyway, they was really big on white collar crime, and I would like to see our justice system, do something about blackmail and embezzlement, and they can, and they have, and other white collar crimes, because that's more devastating than someone that doesn't have a car and has to go buy groceries, or wants to go get a cold drink or some ice cream, or maybe I gotta get deodorant or shampoo, and in this residential area there's no business, so I'll have to go where there is business, and it's about a mile walk if I just go up to where to the main drag up there, where all the fast foods and everything else is, and it's an hour, 20-minute walk if I decide I want to walk to the grocery store. And these are things that people do that don't have cars. They walk there. That's why, sometimes you'll see me pushing a cart, because I'm gonna, I'm going shopping. I mean, if I didn't have to fucking leave my house, I would never fucking leave this fucking place. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, I don't really want to be bothered with the with the fucking harassment and the bully and all this bullshit, and them thinking they're like, you know, like, I don't know why I straightened that guy. Sonny was like, yeah, you just need to tell him such a part. But like, you know, I said Hell Kitchen. This guy, this undercover cop started jumping up and down. There ain't no such thing as Hell Kitchen. There's 5 boroughs. There's 5 boroughs. And if you go like that, that's actually 10 digits showing. But I didn't want to say nothing. So anyway, there ain't no Hell Kitchen. Actually, there is, and I pointed it out to him. Yeah, there is. But anyway, hit on. You know what I'm saying? That's ignorant when you get a little fucking information, and then, you know, when a motherfucker that's from there is talking about something that they know, but you don't know because you're just getting secondhand information. You know, he thinks the Hell Kitchen, they frisked and searched. No, they do that predominantly in the, I say when the first generations, like Dominican and Haitians. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get acclimated to what your position is going to be in the United States, and that's oppressed. And see, they don't even think there's other, like, you know, like even though like they want to call themselves African Americans, they don't think there's any other black people, like, you know, because like there's one guy at the store, he speaks Spanish, so yeah, once in a while, hola, you know, buenos dias or something, whatever, you know, baby, you know, like kindergarten Spanish. They're like, she's schizoid, she got made up her own language, and I did not make up fucking Spanish. I didn't make up French. And I didn't make up German, and I didn't make up English. They were a whole language well established way before I came along. You know, and I know my Spanish sucks, but, you know, hola, you know what I'm saying? You know I'm saying hi, you know what I'm saying? And don't they have Dora the Sparrow? I don't, whatever that show is, I don't watch, like, TV, and well, now my TV's been put up for about a year because, like, whatever, but it's been more than a year because I went on Undercover Cops like, watch Channel 3 News, watch the news, watch the news. So I just unplugged my fucking TV. You know, I plugged it up when I had the cable people come out here to undo that bug they put on there because it's fucking with my fucking services. As soon as I'm like, you know what, y'all got a lot of customers. You don't need my, you know, you don't need me as the customer. You just come and take all that shit out. Cause shit ain't working. So I had to go to somebody else's house to use the fucking phone. Every time they hack it, all my shit goes out. My phone don't work. You know. The one person said, they want you to use your cell phone. I don't got a cell phone. And like, there's a girl up here. She's a nice girl. You know, I could just go right to her house and get a cell phone today. And she works for Assure. You know, I get a free one because of my, you know, position. I mean, everybody else got one. You know, everybody else has them. So it's, you know what I'm saying. So you know, you can call SafeLink and get a free phone. Well, I can't because they sent me an application, and I gave it to this 82-year-old lady because she needed something. So, and they're like, well, we already have it on there, you know, whatever. So anyway, you know, I guess probably a lot of people conned him or whatever. I just wanted him to resend my paperwork. He wanted me to do it on the computer. Bullshit. You know, send me the fucking paperwork when I asked you to send me the fucking paperwork. And then, like, I was telling him my name, right? And like, for some reason, like, he was like, could you, like, something about the way I spelled my name, and I was just like, what? What the fuck's wrong with you? I just hanged up. So I don't really care about a phone anyway, a cell phone anyway. I just don't like the idea that it's so much radiation near your brain. You know, I don't know. I know that it's like you know, everybody has one, and it's like, is it like a symbol of like what? You can afford your phone bill? I don't know. You know. Anyway, so a lot of stuff that everybody has to have, you know, I don't really give a fuck about. But anyway, let me get off the computer. But I am glad that because I got a few phone calls today and the phone rang, so that's really nice. Because it's nice when you pay for your services and you could get it, because I really was just about fuck it, I'm taking all this shit out, I'm saying, why should I pay for shit? Why should I have shit paid for, or however it works, or why should it get paid for when I can't utilize it? I guess the police taught me a lesson that you have to be a real piece of fucking shit to go around and be such a fucking bully. I learned that I don't have no fucking respect for the police. That there's some trifling ass motherfuckers that are not doing their job properly at all. And I learned that too much of my motherfucking tax money is going on shit that I don't get to utilize. I know I can't call the fucking police or fire department, so I sure hate it. They made that perfectly clear. You know what I'm saying? But see, I don't hang in the same circles as them. So I guess I don't have the same motherfucking problem as them. Because we have policemen over here trafficking little children, going to prison for being, doing that, pimping out, young girls, 16, 17-year-old girls, get caught for doing all type of stuff, shooting their old lady, beating up their old lady. Those are not the type of people I hang out with anyway. I don't like to hang out with negative, bully people. I don't get my jollies off for trying to cause somebody else's pain and anguish. Shit ain't fucking funny to me. But, there's plenty of people that find humor in that, and just know that the motherfucker that finds humor in other people's pain and anguish is not the motherfucker that could take it. So it don't take much to make them like that police woman that day. She's like fucking with me over the dog. That's why I'm not claiming. That's why we ain't gonna take that dog when it was a puppy, because they killed my other motherfucker dog. They killed Mia. I guess you taught me that you're a low-down murdering ass bitch. And another thing I didn't appreciate. But anyway, because a motherfucker that could kill a dog ain't shit to be around. You know what I'm saying? I could just imagine the hellhole that your children had to go through. Matter of fact, one of the policemen told me, I'm disappointed in my kid. Yeah, I'm sure. Because you run around fucking with mother. You know what I'm saying? I think this is their way to run around and fuck with other motherfuckers. That way they, they could feel like they worked. You know what I'm saying? As all the other motherfucker crimes pile up. Because, you know what I'm saying? There's so many criminals here. You know what I'm saying? I trip over 2 or 3 on every walk into action. So, it can't be that hard, really. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is just give it a half-ass try. But anyway, this is the South. We got the Republicans. They want to cut all the money out. I hate to see it because a lot of these like they don't know and they don't give a fuck but it's just like they didn't realize that they were gonna lose their that they were having problems, the police, with their pension and their other stuff. But what I'm saying, they lose out on opportunities to get federal funding. A lot of it is because they're Republicans, and another thing is because it's just like they, what I'm saying, when their health insurance and all that, the shit was on the writing was on the wall for a while, But I guess when you want to fuck with somebody else to try to get them mad so they'll do something to you, what the fuck want to do something to you? This ain't no Lifetime TV. This ain't no whatever that is, CNSI. I see the police show the other day. I didn't even finish watching it. I thought the shit was hilarious. The whole show, right? All the criminals is all out to get the police. So I can see why you're paranoid, But, and I'm sure there's plenty of them out there that, Not in my world, but in your world, I'm sure there is. I mean, if you fuck with enough people, it's like this one guy told me once in New York. He hollers at 100 girls because he knows out of 100 he's gonna get one. So you fuck with enough people, you're gonna meet that one that you think that you was gonna bring out of me. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no way I want to be something that I totally disrespect. There's just no way. And like I said, I don't even appreciate that your behavior was such that it warrants no respect.